Yeah, talking about games. What games that you've played from this year, they've really, really enjoyed?
This year for me, I'm just trying to think. There's been a few games. Yeah.
I think for me, it's a weird one because I feel like I haven't played as many games as I usually would.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And even the games I've played, I haven't played into extreme extents. But off the top of my head, the games that I've enjoyed the most this year, I'm not even sure if they all came out this year, but actually one of them technically didn't. But I think one of them is Skyward Sword HD.
Oh yeah.
So it's obviously a remake of a 2011 Wii game.
Yeah. Zelda.
Yeah.
Zelda, yeah.
But it was really refreshing playing it because it was one of the Zelda games where I didn't really end up playing it much. At that period of time in 2011, I was quite into the Call of Duty multiplayer kind of aspect of things. And so especially when you're playing a lot of multiplayer games, it's like playing single player games becomes very difficult because it feels like, for example, if I'm playing Street Fighter, it's like I should be spending time practicing to get better on this game and not just playing some random whatever game. So it's quite refreshing to have the time to actually sit down and play this game and think, oh, you know what, this is actually it's pretty cool. This holds up quite well. I remember this. Oh, they changed this, they changed that. I like the story. I liked a lot of the mechanics. I liked the way it looked. So yeah, that was a fun game. The other one that I've seen get mixed reviews, but I did quite enjoy was Far Cry 6.
Okay.
So I played Far Cry 6 on PC, and I hadn't played a Far Cry game properly in quite a long time. But it was pretty good. It was pretty good. It really felt like I know it's set in South America and you're trying to liberate a country. So it was really cool having like an open world first person shooter where you're going around, you're liberating certain strongholds, you're getting new weapons, new abilities. It's an open world game, so it's like, and first person open world shooters are not very, very common. I think Far Cry is probably the most famous of them all. But just being able to do things in different ways, being able to, stealth kill or go in all guns blazing, recruit pets, recruit other people that you've helped liberate and helped rescue, all sorts. So that was a good game.
Okay.
And I think the last one I would say, probably Metroid.
Yes.
Metroid. Metroid Dread.
The Metroid game come out this year?
Yeah, Metroid Dread came out in October. I streamed, I think I streamed it on launch day when I played for like,
I think
so Metroid Dread is a really, I haven't finished it
game,
but it's and I will do. It's a really, really fun experience. It harks back to the older Metroid games on a 2D plane. It's notoriously quite difficult. There's a lot of exploration. There's a lot of going back and
backtracking.
Going and seeing what you can do with your new abilities, open new doors, new directions. But yeah, it's just fun. Like it just feels like a very, very fun arcade experience. And I remember seeing someone review it and saying like, it's been a long time since they've got a game, they've played it, they've enjoyed it, and that's it. No funny updates, no patches, no real major changes. The game is finished. You play it start to finish. You can go back if you like, but that's it. And in this modern age, games are being put out 50% completed. And then they're backtracking afterwards. But yeah, I'd say those are my three. I feel like I haven't really played much this year.
Okay.
Yeah, me, I played I played a lot of games this year. Chris has already said Metroid Dread. Yeah, that game, fantastic game. Like I said, as Chris said, it's gone back to the roots of the Metroidvania games. I said a lot of backtracking, going back and forth, and I did struggle with a few of the bosses on that game. I can remember, but it's just learning the patterns of those bosses and just and all the different abilities, and they've got in this. Metroid Dread, loved it. I may go back to it because I want to try and speedrun it. Because I want to try and get all the different unlockables at the endings because I did the 100% playthrough. Yeah, no, that's a great game. Another game, Tales of Arise. I wouldn't say we got friends. For example, our friend Hyde, he's the JRPG guy. I like my JRPGs myself, but he is the also JRPG guy. But yeah, Tales of Arise. This one was like I think they just went back with the Tales formula, their battle system, and just revamped it, and it really paid off well. The graphics overall, it looks really good on the next gen. But that game was a great play. The story was okay. It's not. I wouldn't say it's just an amazing story. It's just, it's all right. But I think the main appeal is just the way they revamped the battle system on the game, and it really had me hooked. I ended up going to do platinum that game. Loved it, and I played the hell out of it as well. To be fair, I think mostly I've played is RPGs this year. To be fair, because now I'm still playing Shin Megami Tensei 5. This is my first Shin Megami Tensei game, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've never played any others. I've just played the spin-off, and that was only Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal.
Yeah, I actually played. I was speaking to Tuds about it. I played Shin Megami Tensei. I think it was Devil Survivor on the Nintendo DS. This was ages ago, and this is before I knew it was like a really big thing. I just saw it, and it had a pretty good rating at the time. I remember it was like an average of about 80 something. Yeah, I was like, this is really good. Let me buy it. So I bought it. I played it, and it was really, really fun. Very, very difficult game.
Yeah,
but it was really, really fun. How about yourself, Manny?
So Ori Will of the Wisps.
Yeah.
That came out at the end of last year, but only started playing it this year when I got my Xbox. Literally one of the best games I've ever played. 2D platformer, which I guess I haven't played many throughout my life. If I did, it was when I was a lot younger. But because of playing Ori, it made me want to play more of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
that's good.
Yeah, Ori was generally like really enjoyable. Did 100% completion on it, and then I completed it on hard mode, the hardest mode there was, and now I want to speed run it. Yeah, there's I think I have to complete it within 4 hours from beginning to end.
Isn't there like a deathless run as well?
Yeah, there's one without dying once. I genuinely don't know how I'm gonna do it. Like obviously I have to put in the easiest mode to complete it.
Yeah,
but I don't know how I'm gonna do that one. Eventually, I want to get every single achievement for that particular game.
I heard about, because I remember I like watching some of these on YouTube where they do, like, for example, hardest like, I think they'll do, was it maybe What Culture? I like their vids anyway. I think they'll do ones where you have to do the hardest, maybe like deathless runs or something. They put Ori's one in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently it's difficult for that deathless run on Ori.
Yeah, that's
I've heard.
I don't know how anyone has ever done it. Like, I've played it, when I first played it, it wasn't on hard, it was like medium. And you would die in the most ridiculous ways. I'm not saying that the game is hella difficult, but you would die in the most ridiculous way sometimes. So eventually I'll get to it. It's definitely a challenge.
It's crazy how people do it. Like, I was actually watching the other day, I can't remember the YouTuber's name, but he did he played Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice.
Deathless run.
Not even just deathless. He completed it blindfolded.
Oh, wow.
Blindfolded.
As in you never played it before?
No. As in he was blindfolded.
Literally blindfolded. Sorry, what game was this?
Sekiro.
How did he do that?
I have no idea.
That's mad.
But this is the thing with speedrun. And the thing is, Sekiro is a very difficult game. Extremely difficult. It's a Soulsborne game. It's like
it's from From
Software game.
So yeah.
So I don't know how people do this stuff.
I've
seen people do things like complete Demon Souls in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just like, it doesn't make any sense how these people do it. But
you're just watching how they manage it, because they literally, they'll analyze the game as much as possible. Go into the
exactly.
Data. A lot of people probably maybe look at data mining and stuff, looking at frame data of all the enemies, etc., just to know exactly what to do, what part, and then it's mad how people learn the game.
It's crazy. Games. I remember the first time. This was years back. I think I must have been. This is like maybe like 2006 when I really saw the speedrunning community, and I thought it was just a little niche thing. I didn't think it was anything big. I used to see it in some forums. I remember GameFAQs forums.
Yeah.
Also see a couple of reports on Kotaku and see videos on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
But I never really saw anything major. And as time went on, I was seeing how big speedrunning really, really is. If you watch a lot of these
huge,
speedrunning videos, they got millions of views of games from games that came out in the 90s, for example. Like some of the big ones, Super Mario 64, GoldenEye.
You still got Mario. They still do a lot of speedrunning from Mario Kart courses.
Mario Kart courses, Zelda Ocarina of Time.
Yep.
You got games from PlayStation 1.
You got Super Metroid as well. Even you go to the SNES, people still speedrun Super Metroid as well, for example.
The ones that have really, really kind of caught my attention the most were the GoldenEye on the 64 one and the Super Mario 64 one. And the reason why, because the GoldenEye one, for example,
I think there was, which course was it that they had? I remember I think there's something they tried to exploit, maybe.
Like they always exploit.
Yeah,
anyway.
they always exploiting these games.
But like even like the little things they do, like it's like running diagonally to cut frames and jumping this and killing yourself here so you can end up and spawn somewhere else, and it's just really, really crazy the way they do it.
Yeah.
With the Super Mario 64
the backwards long jump, that one.
There's the backwards long jump, but then there's also I can't remember which stage it's on. It's in one of the water stages where I think someone offered a couple grand, right, to replicate something that was done in a speed run.
Okay.
So I think someone did performed a move essentially in Super Mario 64 by accident, like on an off chance. And the thing with these accidents that happen in speed runs is that they're opportunities to cut time all the time and break world records. So someone's done it by accident, and he's essentially put out a bounty for anyone who can legitly replicate the same thing that was done. And people have literally, like hundreds of people literally just putting in work to try and find out, looking at frame data, analyzing the code of the game, all sorts. It's crazy.
What's that for?
Super Mario 64.
Okay. I'll send you a link.
It's literally the speed running.
It's so crazy. Like little things that they look at. With Zelda, another Zelda one, they have there's like a glitch where in the Lost Woods, where it's like you Z target and then you do like a backflip. Yeah. And basically it's like the game thinks that you're holding something in your hand, but you kind of trick the game into thinking that you are, but you're not. And then you manage to go through certain areas which you're not actually permitted to go through. It's crazy.
I'm even thinking, because I think I watched, wasn't even that long ago, maybe a few months ago, randomly was seeing like a video talking about a record on Mario Kart 64. I think it was, for example, Toad's Turnpike, like how the speedrun record stood for many years, and then it was people finding, literally, like you said, acts by acts and finding a new technique, and then it was just people trying to replicate that technique and shave off the minimal, like nanoseconds, etc., off their times, and even shaving off bigger times. It's just,
I don't know if you remember this one actually. There was a Donkey Kong one. So someone held the Guinness World Record for Donkey Kong. So the original Donkey Kong game with Mario and the barrels. You might have seen it. It's the one where Mario's Jumpman.
And Pauline, he's trying to say
Pauline. So there was like a whole conspiracy behind it, because they felt that the person who made the record faked it. And it was a massive, massive thing. The guy was an arcade owner, and it was like a 1 hour documentary basically going into it and all sorts. And eventually in the end, his record got scrapped, and the person who rightfully did do the speed run actually got their name in the world records. But it was crazy.
Oh, so the arcade runner did fake it?
Yeah.
Okay. That's amazing.
And there's loads of instances of people, cheating on speed runs. But the speedrun community is crazy. Like doing things like playing Japanese versions of the game because the text moves faster.
Yeah,
little things
those
like
things
that.
make differences. That's why sometimes they do separate. They have separate speedrunning times because of the different, depending on the version of the game you have. For example, like you said, maybe a PAL version or US. What was I can't remember the US version.
PAL NTSC,
NTSC, etc. It was in the game, and and even then, there may be the different version of those PAL games, etc.
Even little things, clock speeds, and all sorts of little issues. But anyways, that's I think that's a really good part of retro gaming that keeps it relevant today.
Yeah,
because these games have been going on. I mean, how old is Mario 64 now? Mario 64 is like 24 years old. Yeah, 24 years old.
25, 20. It's going to be
97, isn't it?
96.
96.
It's 96.
Oh yeah, it's 96.
Yeah, it's 96. So it's like 25 years old actually. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 25.
Yeah, bloody hell. Yeah.
And it's still going. But